40% price increase. The fuck, bro. It's 100.
Just in time
Okay, now I'm trying to get it
for Daredevil and Punisher, right?
just in time. All right, went from 119 to 149.
Hmm.
God damn, bro. Might even be more than that. Hang on. Yeah, so it went from $7.99 a month to $9.99.
Everything on that.
Well, y'all voted for Trump, so that's what we got.
Nope. That's
We
price
just gotta
gouging.
deal with it. We got.
You're
We
ruining
gotta
the
deal
intro,
with it.
man. You're ruining the intro.
Oh,
What up, y'all? Six
159,
Elemente
159.99.
in the building. Reno Noir is your host. You got Stu Dog on the left, Raw Talk at the bottom. What's happening, y'all?
Pause.
Yo, yo, yo,
Pause.
yo, yo, yo,
We gotta
yo, yo,
go.
yo.
It's been a minute though since the whole crew been together. It's been a
Yeah,
minute
yeah.
actually because either I was on vacation or Raw Talk was
Yeah, man. It was out of commission for a minute.
out of commission. Yeah, but we got a good show tonight, man. We got because I love talking about toys, man. I love talking about collectibles, and that's what I love, man.
Tell
That's
me.
my passion now. You know, I done graduated from comics to 3D physicality. That's where I see it.
But there's a lot of stuff going on the movie front too.
Yeah, absolutely,
You know?
absolutely. Especially with Doctor Doom, we know what's going on there too. That's gonna be cool. What you got? What you got on the movie tip? Around talk.
That Brave New World. You know.
Oh, you missed it. Yeah, we talked about that on the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the guy that plays Jack Reacher, he might, he's one of the guys that they might have to do play Batman in the not Reeves universe, and
DCU.
yeah.
You know who else? The guy from 1923, Brendan Sklar.
Oh,
The
okay.
Yeah, that Yellowstone spinoff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. That was a dope show. And season two's about to drop with that too. And that shit's blowing up. People love that shit.
Yellowstone ain't no joke.
Yeah, 1923, man. Yeah, Yellowstone was good, man.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah. Well,
And like,
1923 is like a prequel
Yeah. Yep.
with Harrison Ford as the old patriarch.
Yeah. How
But
they how they got the land and how they keep the land away from the government and stuff like that.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah, man. It's a good, it's a really well written joint. I mean, I like how they put it together. But yeah, 1923 actor Brendan Sklar, in not really in talks or anything, but it's just a fan casting for him to play the DCU Batman. But yeah, speaking of Brave New World, uh they did outdo the Marvels at the box office. They passed the $100 million mark domestically and the 200 million mark worldwide. In doing so, Brave New World also overtook the MCU's biggest bomb, the Marvels, and that yeah marks Anthony Mackie's theatrical debut as the new Cap. It's
Yeah.
a mantle that he took from Chris Evans with $109 million domestically and another $92 million from overseas markets. Brave New World's cumulative global haul stands at $202 million after around a week in theaters, and it debuted in overseas markets in a couple days before being released over here, actually, and that put it ahead of the Marvels, which concluded its run with 199 million. So just
Mhm.
barely beat it, but it beat it. And the budget though was over 300 million, so it
Yeah, because
definitely
reshoots. Yeah.
we call that a box office disaster, kids. Brave New World definitely with a price tag of 180 million, which is on the lower end of the spectrum, which so helped it out, but still just barely barely made a profit there. But
Mm.
hey, I think Marvel kind of came back with Deadpool and Wolverine, and we'll just see where that all goes. But I don't think Cap is gonna bring us out of the fires in any way. Hang on,
No,
here.
nah.
Yeah, I think
Could have. It could have.
mhm. I think they had too
It
many
could have.
stories on the back end, and they couldn't choose whatever storyline they really wanted to go with. So they had an amalgamation of various storylines that hit dead ends.
The Hulk movie.
Yeah, yeah.
It was basically a Hulk sequel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's supposed to be
yeah.
a
There
little
was
Yeah. Which I,
more.
yeah, which I think they was trying to capitalize on for a long time, but didn't know how.
Yeah, I mean,
one way how is to actually have the fucking Hulk in the Hulk
rating.
sequel, you know. Um, yeah, they were missing the Hulk in their Hulk sequel, so it didn't. It's not gonna work out, guys.
Yeah, because it would have been cool to see the Hulk
Mm,
fight the Red Hulk.
Absolutely.
That should have been
yeah.
the
But,
thing, but you
but
know,
they made some mistakes though,
mm,
because he fell in love with Black Widow and then Liv Tyler. I don't even know how that would even worked out. So
yeah, because see, that Hulk was actually that really wasn't the MCU Hulk. That
no, it wasn't.
even the Eric Banner that
Well,
wasn't.
the Banner's not, but the Ed Norton was the MCU Hulk. That actually is official MCU Hulk.
No, I'm
And
talking about as far as the storyline of it. You know what I'm saying? Like it,
yeah, I
it's
mean
not.
a different actor, but it's the same storyline.
Mm. Then
You know
how
what I
did
mean?
he get in love with old Black Widow? Then if he had Liv Tyler, remember at the end he kept texting her at the end and stuff. Like,
And they brought her back in this movie,
mm,
solidifying that it's part of the same story. That's why this movie is seen as like a spiritual sequel to that movie, because Liv Tyler comes back, the same storyline they're talking about. Your boy that plays the
yeah,
leader, same
yeah,
actor, he comes back. I mean, yeah, so
Yeah.
it's it's no question it's a successor to that in some way. But why they
If the
did that,
guy that played if the guy that played Thunderbolt Ross originally, if he wouldn't have died, he would have
he
been
would
in it.
still, yeah, it would be the
Yeah.
same actor. They only recast because he died. It's the
yeah,
same character. And
yeah.
that's why they even showed a picture and they were like, "Oh, I shaved my mustache," like trying to
Mm-hmm.
play
Yeah,
it off.
trying to which I understand why we couldn't recast Black Panther. I mean, they
But they,
recasted
they in talks of doing that.
Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah.
They're gonna
Okay,
recast
okay.
Black Panther, but I think they're going for the Young Avengers at this point in time. I think they're
Yeah.
they're looking like we're not gonna keep the original cast going like that. We're gonna bring
Right.
it to the young Black Panther, the young Avengers. You're gonna see that,
Right.
you know.
Well,
But well the Avengers, I really think I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I'm gonna keep saying it till they do it. They need to just reboot the whole universe, man. That the story was done, the storyline was done. It was great. We got 10 good years out of it.
Yeah,
Reboot, new
yeah,
actors, new story, new storyline. I mean, come on, it can be done.
they'll never
They
do
just
it.
keep and they're to the point now where their A list is gone, so now they're down to the B list, and nobody's really feeling it.
Well, they're
So
bringing now. So, well, that's what they're doing now. That's why they're bringing the A list back. Everybody's like, "Why are they bringing RWJ back?" That's their A list. I knew when he was done. I knew when that whole cast was gone. I was like, "There's no way they can maintain this momentum."
mm,
I don't care how good the new actors are, or how well the characters are written, or what. And sadly, they were like the worst characters that no one cared about, and they just were lame versions of the ones people did care about. And the acting was not good. The writing was even worse. And so it went downhill. So downhill in a bad way, not like gaining momentum, but downhill like it sucks now. But
mm.
they're like, oh, we got to do something quick and we got to bring back what made it special in the first place. And let's be honest, the backbone of the MCU, you can say it's Kevin Feige. I say it's Robert Downey Jr., or at least they're fucking equally the
or
backbone.
or the Russo brothers and
And the
down.
Rus yeah, and the Russo brothers made exactly. So bringing them back because they made that whole chemistry, man, with the
Yeah, but they need to close out that MCU. And like Stu said, make the Fantastic Four the new entry into a new MCU universe. You know what I'm saying? Because that whole tone of that movie is totally way left than what we're used to in the tone of MCU movies. You know,
Right.
I don't think the tone of it's going to be that different. I think it's going to be real similar to what we've been seeing tone wise.
what I mean, they're
It's
set
going
up
to
in
be in
direct.
another universe. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be in this quasi 60s futuristic, universe that's going to be something different. That'll be cool. Like a cool setting will be different and all of that. Um, hopefully it, but they've got too much shit planned. Feige, these people have these careers embedded in this shit. They've made careers
Yeah.
on this shit. They're not giving it up. They would be giving it up to reboot. At least that's the way they'd see it. I would see a way to do it where I'd keep my job, but
Yeah.
they just see it as, oh, we got to keep going, and so hopefully they don't just double down on the nonsense and they start doing something different, which I think with Deadpool and Wolverine's success and realizing that we have to go back to what made it special in the first place, and getting guys like Russo brothers back and Robert Downey Jr. back, and Doctor Doom, my favorite villain probably in the Marvel universe. It's a phenomenal character that I've been waiting for them to do for so long. There's no actor that could really do it and really make it special, or you know what I mean? I mean, honestly, the more I think about Robert Downey Jr. as Doom, the more I like it, and the more, and now listen, and looking at shit they've been saying in interviews, him and Feige were talking about this years ago. Like they were already planning doing this. This is not some spur of the moment thing, some last ditch. Oh, we got to do something. Oh, let's get Robert Downey Jr. It wasn't some harebrained scheme. Like they'd been planning this for a while, just not telling anybody. So there's a lot of pluses that I see behind it. Um, you
You
know,
know what would spoil it too? I mean, I know they wanted to build up the hype. They could have left that secret. They could have left that secret, did the movie, and then when they unmasked Doom, it was Robert Downey all along.
Yeah, that would
That
have been.
would have that would have blew
That'd
them the
yeah,
fuck up like
yeah,
$1 billion, $1 trillion movie type shit.
have been like
yeah,
Darth Vader
Yeah,
finding out he like Luke finding out Darth was his father, because that would have been how epic that
yeah,
would have
because
been.
when you were little, you find that out, you like, oh, like
Yeah, you was like, yeah, you was just like Luke, but you had your hand. You
yeah,
like, oh
yeah,
no.
in the
yeah,
movie theater, I'm like, oh,
yeah,
and a little guy, like, yo, this is crazy. But
yeah,
they would have did better if they would have kept that a secret. That would have been the moment that MCU was back. And you'll have headlines everywhere across the internet. The MCU's back
yeah,
because
Yeah.
he was unmasked to be Robert Downey instead
yep,
of doing it for Comic Con, which was like how many years? A year ago. Like, come on! Like now that hype
Well,
is waning,
they needed publicity. They needed publicity, raw talk. They needed something
they needed
to
a
draw people in.
marketing
Like
manager
they
that
needed
knows.
a hype.
yeah,
They needed a real marketing
Yeah, they
manager.
needed a hype.
They could have hired my company. They
Yeah.
would have been all right. I would have been like, nah, you're gonna keep this dude down. He's gonna be undercover, man. We gotta keep this super secret. Then you what you do is send out Doom bots. Who's playing
yeah,
who's playing Doom? You'll
yeah,
have different actors that's under the Marvel banner. All of a sudden, you see Anthony Mackie on board a plane. He got a Doom mask in his carry on. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? You would do stuff like that, weird stuff like that, or maybe Ruffalo. He's on stage somewhere, but the Doom mask is laying on the corner. Like, that's how you do it to spark up people. Like, yo, who's going? They're talking about Doom. Then next thing you know, Robert
or,
Downey
or, or
movie kills all box office. Bomb.
yeah. I
They
mean,
for
it
doing
makes sense for him to come back, though. It really does. Like, they've been struggling. Phases 4, 5, 6 have had way more movies and shows and bullshit than
Mhm.
phases 1 through 3, but they don't have a single Avengers movie, in a span of 7 years,
Yeah.
and several installments that have failed critically, commercially, with the fans, with the comic heads, or both, everybody, with box office bombs like the Marvels, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, interspersed with hits and bangers like Deadpool and Wolverine, and Robert Downey Jr.'s coming back seems like, I think, the ideal strategy to conclude the multiverse saga on a high note and not just let it fizzle out to shit. And besides Robert Downey Jr.'s successful 11-year run with Marvel, his recent Oscar win is also an asset for the MCU now. So he's a much more respected dude now than he ever was, and he recently proved his skills, I think, with the performance as Louis Strauss in Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer. I mean, that shit was next level. Like, dude is not just a comic guy or some shit. Like, he's an actor. So him being able to play another dude, he doesn't have to be Tony Stark. It's Victor Von Doom. That
Mhm.
dude, I have so much faith in Robert Downey Jr.'s acting chops that I feel he can play
I,
Victor Von
yeah,
Doom. And I'm
I'm
not
not
even
saying
gonna be like, oh, that I
he's
mean,
great.
yeah, he's gonna look like Tony Stark, and the multiverse is gonna explain why this Victor Von Doom looks like Tony Stark, but he's not Tony Stark, he's Victor Von Doom, and he's gonna be very convincingly a completely different person.
Yeah,
This
I'm
is
not.
an actor that can do that.
Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna down credit his acting chops because he's top tier. You
Yeah.
know, he's always been top tier acting. But my thing is the marketing. I think they shot their load too early. Pause. I think they did that as far as introducing him as Doom. I think they could have kept that under wraps. That because
Right.
that's the jewel. That's the gold right there. That's when you reveal him on screen to be
You
Doom.
know,
Everybody's gonna rush to watch it because they want to know, yo, Robert, how the hell he's do? They're gonna go crazy.
I think you know what, you might have, what it might be, bro. I feel like what did come spur of the moment, and what was a last ditch thing to try and save the fucking universe, was revealing it
Mhm.
early at that thing. I think they would have done it like that if they were smart. But right now, they needed something. They needed something to help the momentum of the Wolverine movie, and like and people having faith again in the MCU, and that's what they felt anyway, that they had to do that to.
Yeah, I think the Wolverine and Deadpool stood on its own because that was hype alone. When they
Yeah.
had, yeah, he's gonna wear the mask. That was hype for that. You know what I'm
But
saying?
even the movie made fun of how bad the MCU was doing
Yeah, yeah.
in
I
that
mean,
movie.
because if we truly think
Yeah, it
about
did.
it,
It didn't.
this company has billions of dollars, so it's not like a real rush. They could have kept people anticipating in a way to where, okay, yeah, they see DC doing their thing. Let DC do their thing. You plot and plan behind like a true villain, and then you come out with your masterpiece of just taking over everything. That's what you do. That is always the play that you got to do. You play behind the scenes. Oh, I see what our competitors are doing. That's great, but we got something for their ass. Because when Doom comes, they're not gonna even realize that it's this dude that's Doom. That would have been the perfect thing. Then that would set the course for billion-dollar movies down the line. Because now you're
Yeah.
branching off from that. Now people are
Yeah.
more interested. Who else is playing a wild character? Oh yeah, Black Panther's coming. Who's gonna be the Black Panther this time? It brings up the hype again, the love of it again. You
Hmm.
know what I mean?
Hmm.
Now you shot your shot. So all right, Downey's doomed now. We can't wait for him to do the role, but what comes after that now?
Yeah,
Like,
where's it going to go from there? Can it be repeated, or is that impact of that, him
yeah,
coming back, only going to work once?
yeah,
And it might not play a third or fourth time, but they, I think, are planning to make him as a kind of a big bad that kind of stays around. I mean, he's Doctor Doom, so he's going to be the Doctor Doom for the MCU. And we know in Marvel Comics, Doctor Doom don't go nowhere. Doctor Doom always is fucking there. He's always fucking
and
there, even
he,
when he's
and he,
defeated, or
yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah, he
he's
is. Yeah,
always in
he
the
is.
background. See, that's
always
what
in the background.
the Doom is. See, they lost the essence of Doom when they revealed him to be Doom, because Doom operates in the background. He plays chess
Right,
on a multi level that no one has ever done. Like this
right.
dude controls super villains.
Yeah,
This man
exactly.
controls supervillains. Like who, through magic and technology, Doom is Doom is that dude.
Yeah. He pokes fun at Kang. He
Yeah,
pokes fun
Yeah,
at Kang.
he toys with Kang. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I
He
mean. Like,
toys with Kang.
come on,
I
man.
mean, it him as far as I think a lot of the speculation was how was he going to be Doctor Doom? How was he going to play Doctor Doom? And I think them finally, you know, saying that he's actually playing Victor Von Doom. He's not playing a evil Tony Stark. It's Victor
Mhm.
Von Doom. He said what he say? He explained that the process of the MCU of his MCU return started a year ago with Feige
Mm,
suggesting that he could return as Doctor Doom. So it was way before they told us they had been talking about it. Um, so it, it does seem like a last minute thing, but in a way, it might not be exactly that last minute. Um, and Downey also shared another positive tidbit, revealing a comforting thing Feige said to him. He said, "Let's get Victor Von Doom right." So it's not let's get Doctor Doom right. It's not let's get evil Tony Stark right. It's let's get Victor Von Doom right was the quote. So he's
mm,
playing Victor Von Doom. Um, and I think that a classic Doctor Doom is much better than an Iron Man variant. I
yeah,
am a Doctor Doom fan. I don't want it to be some, you know, we've already experienced, the Mandarin variants and all this kind of bullshit. We don't need that shit. We need the actual characters. And so
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm happy that we're getting
But
Downey as Doom instead of him coming back to play an Iron Man variant. And there's a few reasons. The most important one is that the MCU does not need to make its main villain change even more confusing. Up to this point, the multiverse saga has been setting up Kang, the Conqueror, and people that really don't know about comics. They're just going by what they've been seeing in the movies for the next two Avengers movies. And so, with this abrupt change towards Doctor Doom taking that role, I think the switch needs to be very simple as possible. And instead of convoluting it with all these layers and shit, and yeah, the multiverse could have been used to explain how Robert Downey Jr. is Doctor Doom, and it still will, but given that there's an endless number of Tony Stark variants that could have turned into Doctor Doom, and in some universes surely did, but some theories around that possible story route picked up some steam among fans and stuff like that on the internet. A couple including like Doctor Doom, Iron Man and Doctor Doom switching bodies like has happened in the comics, and Doctor Doom projecting his consciousness
hmm
onto the dead Iron Man, which has happened. But with Marvel having to quickly set up Doctor Doom and throw him against the MCU's heroes in Avengers Doomsday, I think a simple introduction works better. A simple explanation, you know. And how could he, because he will play Victor Von Doom, not an Iron Man variant, and so it could still come from an alternate universe.
yeah,
And like Fantastic Four, because I think the only way for Marvel to explain why Doom and Stark are played by the same actor or look the same, keeping in mind that Robert Downey Jr.'s reported massive salary, is hard to believe that Marvel would keep Doctor Doom's mask on all the time. They're going to show Robert Downey Jr.'s
yeah,
face.
yeah.
They need to get their money's worth. And so, yeah, it's reported that he's going to be in the Fantastic Four mid or post credit scene. That's going to explain and set up everything to do with his casting and explain how he's there and how he's Doctor Doom, how he's Victor, and all of that.
I bet you that that post credit scene or what have you will be Doom sitting in his chair and talking with Kang. He's just like, yeah, you
That'd
tried,
be dope.
you tried twice. It's
Right,
my turn to try. Well,
right.
not try, succeed.
Like I'm gonna handle this shit now. I should have, yeah. Like
Yeah,
like like I shouldn't have sent a boy to do a man's job or some shit.
yeah,
That's
things of that nature, like they did with Thanos.
he because that's how it is in the comics, and
Yep.
so. But they and to that point, they are planning to explain Kang. They're not going to just leave it unfinished. So they are going to do something with Kang.
Yeah,
It's been
he's coming back,
reported.
and
Yeah,
rightfully so. They owe that man at least 3 movies, man.
Mm.
They always at least 3 movies for
I'm
side.
glad. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm not like a big. I wasn't hella hype about Kang. I thought the character was kind of lackluster. The way he played it was a cool side character, but he didn't feel like a big bad Doom threat to me. He didn't feel
But
like even Thanos to me. Like he didn't give me that feeling.
see,
Uh,
but you got to check the dualities in Kang because
oh, I get it.
the He Who Remains was a crazy take, and then you had King. I was like, yo, this dude is playing from wild levels of, you know what I'm saying?
It
One
was
is
dope
more
the way
aggressive.
he did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the character he portrayed was awesome. I just don't see it as a big bad
Oh no,
threat.
no, he was always a side. Like I said, Doom controlled major side villains like
Yeah,
that had
yeah,
great powers. So he was one of those side villains that Doom controlled. You know what I mean?
exactly. That's
Even
why.
Thanos and Doom, yo, that was the one that Thanos worried about. Was
Yep,
Doom. He worried about Doom.
the
This
only
dude was
only Earthling. Yep,
worried about Doom. Yo,
word.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm
Motherfuckers,
saying?
motherfuckers around the cosmos know about Doom. You
Yeah.
know, Doom, yeah, that's crazy. Like this is just a dude from Earth. He's just a human dude. He's got the peak of fucking technology and magic. You can't fuck with him.
Yup.
You can't fuck with him. But yeah, he
We ain't
and
become
and,
Doom. That
and with Fantastic Four, the reboot taking place in a different universe
yeah,
that has a sort of retro futuristic version of New York in the 1960s.
yeah.
Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom could also come from that reality, and the MCU has already established that the same character can be played by different people, with multiple actors have played Loki, Spider-Man, Fantastic Four. First Steps is revealing Downey's Doctor Doom coming from that universe could help establish that different Earths could also have you know past MCU actors as other characters, which would open the door for a lot of returns of our favorite actors that people are used to and love, that made the franchise what it was.
I
Being
think
time
they should move forward. I think they should move forward with that period. I think uh I think Thunderbolt should have been filmed like that. I
mm,
think Captain America Brave New World should have been filmed like that. You reboot, you bring in all new actors, give it that 70s Panavision look.
Hmm.
But that's a
oh
whole
yeah.
new face. That's a whole new slate. You can write new stories, you can use them same actors again. Man, now you cooking with gas again.
Yeah,
It's just
you
you got
know
to give it a new face now. It's just time for a new face. I watch the movies and I enjoy them, but me personally, I just think it's time for a new face. They're
Just
gonna
like
have
the
to do
comic book.
something.
you mean the same actors?
Yeah, they can.
Now, if you like, a lot of people like the actors and they want to find a way to bring them back. That's one way. But me personally, reboot the whole universe. Skip it. Just reboot the whole thing. Let's start all
Oh
over.
yeah. Well, I
Give it
mean,
that 70s Panavision look, like Fantastic Four. And like, all right, matter of fact, this is what you could even do
it
that might
would
make it
cost
even
too
better.
many. I
And
mean, the only
agree
reason I
and
don't, the only reason I don't like think that's possible is just because too many people's careers riding on it.
I mean, they can still make a shift because remember they're a big multi-billion-dollar company. They can do anything. I mean, I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, you can do whatever you want. Yeah.
they can take it to whatever level, any universe. I mean,
Mhm.
they can because remember it's the MCU. They're making it up as it goes anyway. Why not just say, "Hey,
Yeah.
yo, the Big Bang again happened, and now we're in an alternate universe, universe seven one two
Or
one 14."
Right.
or you could just say like instead of just doing the Avengers and all that, just move on to the X-Men, X Factor, X Force. You can move on to that, write a whole new story that lasts 10 years, and then come back later to the Avengers. Either way you look at it, if they did something different, if they did something new, it would be
Mhm.
something the fans could gravitate to.
Yeah,
And people been asking for the X-Men for a while, and the X-Men reboot. This is your chance to do it right here. Pull them into the spotlight. Kevin Feige said it. They've been there all this time.
yeah.
We just didn't notice them. So now, put them in the spotlight. Let us notice them now.
I would love to see him in
You know what I
Fantastic
mean?
Four because the 1963 X Men, that's my X Men. I love those those
You could have
original
did that,
class. I mean, the
Mhm.
man.
second
People
class
would go
is great,
crazy over that.
but that
Yeah,
first
people would
class
go
is
crazy over that.
the real deal. I mean, Beast without the blue hair. You had Angel. You had Iceman with the boots and shit. You know what I'm saying? That old school look. I love that.
Mm.
Saying where he
Yeah.
looked like a
Yeah.
snowman.
I love the team that came the all
Well,
new X.
that's
Yeah,
when he
The,
covered himself with snow. That's when he covered himself with snow instead of ice.
you know, and they
yeah,
fought.
the great what's it called? Uh
Oh, the king size X Men.
Giant Size. Yeah, I was gonna say Giant Size
Giant
X-Men
size, yeah.
#1. Yeah, where they brought in, Wolverine and Storm and all them cats. But I want to see a movie with the characters that you're talking about
Yeah,
and the new characters, how they did, how they had to get that new team to save the old team,
yeah,
that they were caught up like that's a whole phase, bro, because it could
oh
start
yeah,
out with a movie about the old team going on their mission, then the second movie they're trapped or whatever, then the third movie Xavier then brought this whole new team together, they come back and save them, in the fourth movie they fight the Avengers. I mean, it could be so
Or you could
so
have,
so dope
or
if
Reno,
they
you could
just
have X Force. You could have X Force save X Men, and then X Factor come in and back them up in the end.
yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Brown
yeah,
scenario.
X-Force. Yeah, bro. I mean, that's the phase right there. You should have at least a couple of X-Force, or X Factor TV show or a presentation or something
Or we
because
could, or we could go with your
our
idea,
movies
Reno, right? Or we could go with your idea, right? X Men get captured, whatever. Boom. Then X Factor go in, and it look like they're gonna lose. But while it look like they losing, we switch over to another movie
I mean, that ain't my idea. That's the
where X
comic. That's the
Yeah,
comic.
Where X Factor has to fight off a big bad because they're away, and then we switch back. Man,
Mhm.
it would be dope. Just bring the mutants into the spotlight. We ain't gotta see the Avengers. We can wait and see them another time. Bring the mutants, dude. Give us a 10-year movie span with the X Men, X Force, X Factor, X Men Gold, X Men Blue, whatever you want to do. It doesn't make a difference. Bring the
bring
mutants
back
into the
the
spotlight.
mutants, the new
Mhm.
mutants.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
new mutants. Bring all of that into the spotlight.
yeah. It's
Mhm.
a lot of X teams, a lot of X titles, and all of that, man.
Oh yeah,
That's why I say, I didn't want them to do no X-Men movie in the MCU. The X-Men, the mutants, period, they need their own whole phase or really their own franchise. Like,
You're right.
because that's the
They
way I
do,
see it.
and that would be
They're
it.
so much bigger.
No, you're right, Reno, because they're too big. They're too big. Or hold up, wait a minute. I got even better. You could do Avengers versus X Men. Booyah!
yeah. But then
That's what I said.
yeah, but I
The
think,
comic is already written. Let's get it
yeah,
popping.
but
Yeah.
I'm like, why do I want to see
But
them?
Reno, I do agree, Reno, that they do need their own.
Yeah,
They do need their own spotlight. They do need their own spotlight at the end of the day, and this is the time to do it. I think.
yeah. I mean, why would I want to see them fight the Avengers? Like two heroes fighting the. I want.
Because I'll tell you why. Because Jonathan Hickman wrote one of the best comic fucking series that I've ever read, and it's Avengers versus X-Men.
Mm,
It's not like they're just all out enemies, but the way it goes down, I mean, that's just what it's called, but it's an amazing run. If you have not read Avengers versus X-Men, like it's some of the best comics out
mm.
there, in
I
my
have to
opinion.
check them out. I'm gonna have to
It
go.
is. Yeah, it
It's
is.
amazing.
Shadow.
Nah, it is real talk. No, it
Amazing.
is real talk. It was good.
I'm gonna have to
It's
get
really
back.
good, man.
Mind blowing. It's one of my favorites. Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
No,
I'm gonna
it's really good.
read up on them, study them.
But this is what Robert Downey Jr. said about playing Doom and the whole thing. He said so probably a year ago, because Kevin Feige and I have kept in touch. We're pals. Favreau, Feige, and I have kept in touch. I'm close with the Russo brothers. We have other business we're doing. So there's this little group of fellow travelers, and I had an instinct that I wanted to go to Bob Iger, and I had an idea outside of the cinematic universe for how I could be of service to what's going on in the parks and all their location-based entertainment. Susan and I were sitting down with Feige at one point. He said, "It just keeps occurring to me that if you were to come back, And Susan was like, wait, 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 come back as what? Then we both realized over time that it was another thing that just disapproves about just disproves any doubt anyone could ever have about that guy, a very sophisticated creative thinker about how we can go not backwards, how we can not disappoint expectations, how we can continue to beat expectations. And he brought up Victor Von Doom. I looked up this character and I was like, wow. Later, Kevin Feige goes, let's get Victor Von Doom right. Let's get that right. So then I said to Kevin, can I go talk to Bob Iger? He goes, about? I go, about everything. I'd gone to Bob's house and I don't know how to describe that experience. I've had a lot of really cool experiences, but I go to Iger's pad and we sit down and he goes, I like it. I was like, he likes it. He said, come by the Imagineering campus. Feige and I go to the Imagineering campus, and you want to talk about two guys who are not easy to have their minds blown, let alone at the same time. I can't say too much, but what is going on right there right now is so beyond my expectation of what was possible.
Hmm.
So this is not some lame ass like last minute bullshit idea. This is something that you know, if this is to be believed, that major dudes are like mind blown on the shit.
Because Doom
So
is that dude, man.
Doom is
Doom is that yo. He's one of the dopest villains. Period, man. I like Doom.
period.
Him and Magneto are my favorite villains.
Mm,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Just
yeah,
because they have a hunger for setting things right in their own way that it blinds them. I love it, but they keep.
yeah,
It's just like yo. It's just how they're they're more human than humans because their flaws is what you gravitate to.
right,
You know what I'm saying? That's why I like them dudes.
yeah. Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot. I mean, Doctor Strange is
Mhm.
coming back for Doomsday, of course, and that's one dude, that's one actor that's been throughout the whole shit, and he's still popping up. So,
Yeah, because
and
is involved too.
and yeah, and him coming back sets him up to be a crucial piece to the Doctor Doom puzzle in the MCU movie. And after it became clear that Marvel would be moving on from Kang, even more, because before Jonathan Majors was fired, fans asked for the MCU to bring in Doctor Doom. I mean, we've been asking for that since
Well,
the MCU. And when it finally happened, it came with a surprise. Obviously, as Robert Downey Jr. is going to play Victor Von Doom. As one would expect, that news led to a lot of theories about how that could be possible. Of course, from an alternate universe, Tony Stark to a Victor Von Doom who just happens to look like the MCU's resurrected Iron Man turned bad, and all kinds of different theories. And there's been a lot of stuff connecting Iron Man and Doctor Doom and stuff like that. But the main face of the Avengers Doomsday's cast does not need to be treated as an Iron Man replacement. As Doom is a lot more than that. I mean, Doom is a major character. Now with Doctor Strange confirmed to be in that Doomsday movie, you know what I'm saying? I think Doctor Strange is definitely going to have something to do with it, since Doctor Doom is so involved with magic. And Doctor Strange, Avengers Doomsday situation surprisingly turned out to be a very complex one. Because Doctor Strange was first announced to be part of the movie, which came from Benedict Cumberbatch, who said in 2024 that he could not wait to film the Avengers entry this year. So we knew it from then, and the actor said that he would no longer appear because Doctor Strange did not align with that part of the story of the next two Avengers movies after Marvel replaced Kang with Doctor Doom. Now that plan has now changed. With Doctor Strange is now back confirmed to appear in Avengers Doomsday. So I don't know if anyone knew that he was never not, but that happened. And so with that appearance now set in stone, Marvel is setting up this major battle, and Doctor Strange has everything that you would need to be one of the leaders of the new Avengers. And I think with him being like one of the main dudes that's still left, it's kind of, I think, important that he is the leader of whatever this new team is. He obviously was there since fucking the beginning, fought Thanos. Uh, he's got the most multiverse experience. He's held his own against extremely powerful beings. Benedict Cumberbatch's chemistry with Robert Downey Jr., which was displayed in Infinity War, is just like too good for Marvel not to do anything with it. And with two, charismatic stars playing a couple of the most powerful Marvel characters of all time, a battle is inevitable. I mean, Doomsday, you've got to have Doctor Strange's magic to make Doom more powerful. The whole magic
Yeah.
aspect of Doom is what makes him so dope. And I think one thing that Avengers Doomsday theories connecting Doctor Doom and Iron Man seem to forget is that Victor Von Doom is not just a genius with technology. He's not just, a Tony Stark antithesis. He's got that connection through Doom's wealth and his technological expertise. Added to Robert Downey Jr.'s casting as the villain makes it simple for a lot of people to reduce that character down to, the evil mad scientist or the evil Iron Man replacement. But Doom also happens to be one of the most powerful magic users in the Marvel universe. And so,
Mm.
because of that, Doctor Strange's role in Doomsday, I think, is going to be very crucial. Is going to be very uh, important. And, with Scarlet Witch dead and Loki stuck down there holding the strings together as the protector of the multiverse on his throne, Doctor Strange is really the only MCU hero that can bring the most, out of Doctor Doom, as far as the magic shit goes. And Strange has given Thanos a very hard fight, which took him on while he had some of the Infinity Stones. I mean, Strange is no fucking joke. Like, that dude takes on gods and shit. So, um, he's battled Scarlet Witch throughout the whole multiverse, successfully bargained his way out of an entanglement with Dormammu, the ruler of the dark dimension. And Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom is going to need that magic to defeat Doctor Strange, and I think need that whole twist there. So I think it's going to be dope to see them go at it. But yeah, Doctor Strange is MCU's former Sorcerer Supreme, with Wong taking on that role after Strange was snapped away by Thanos. But as Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness showed us, the hero's powers continue to be strong and build, even though he's not the Sorcerer Supreme anymore. And I find it interesting that Doctor Doom recently became the Sorcerer Supreme in Marvel Comics.
That could be something. That could be something they're doing too.
Now,
You
because we
know.
know we just heard straight from the horse's mouth that Marvel is literally writing comics just for the purpose of, shit to put in the movies.
Mm.
So
It
you
might be
got to
doing something.
look at the comics now to really see what's going on in the movies. They're being very
Mm.
literal. Yeah, what did the dude say yesterday or Wednesday?
Yeah, they might. Yeah.
He said
I mean,
he said he said a Marvel Comics executive editor confirmed that Marvel's current purpose is to develop new ideas and new stories that can serve as creative fodder for eventual film and animation development.
mm,
Meaning that they're telling their comic creators that, basically all we want you to do is make shit that we can make, put in the movies, which is ass. Yeah, that sucks. But that's what we kind of always knew was happening. But it sucks for comics, man. It does suck for comics.
it
But
does. But it's like a crystal ball for them because
crystal ball
if
for us.
they give us something. No, I'm saying for us a little bit, but for them more like as far as like movies. So like they write a story, everybody like it, the comic sells out. That first thing they'll say, oh, we definitely can use this in a movie. We can use that. They like that. Right now with the stories they're writing, it's a shot in the dark. We either
Yeah.
like it or we don't.
because
and they keep giving us a bunch of stuff we don't like.
well, remember what we were saying that the MCU is its own comic, regardless. It's its own take on on the original Marvel characters.
Right.
So by them having these writers
Right.
write for the movies, it's as if they don't have to go back on the source material because there's a lot of legalities with that. You know, certain people own the rights to characters, certain people own the story rights as writers, and they have to be paid a certain fee. I'm talking about in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Now you got the new writers under their new contracts. There's stipulations like you don't own this. You're writing for us as work for hire totally. So now we can take anything we want and it's ours. So
That's how
you,
Marvel's always done it.
yeah, well, for some, because there are some contracts like, I mean, Kirby's estate, you know what I'm saying? You had,
When you're talking about Kirby, yeah, it's Kirby and Stan Lee. That's
yeah,
different. But
but you
like
know, they
with
have the original.
Claremont, there's Michael Bendis, like regular comic writers and shit. They don't own anything.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like the news stories that reflect current times, and they're mixing in a lot of stuff, so they're gonna have free reign.
Yeah,
Which hey, it's cool because every comic like that comes out, it's basically uh, someone else is telling on what they view the characters are, their motivations. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense for them to do that. You know, it makes
yeah,
sense. You know, it's cool. I mean, as long as
yeah.
they have some great action and a solid story, I'm good with it. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna expect. I think we as hardcore comic heads and collectors, we expect the most from corporations when we shouldn't expect anything from them but what they do for money. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Right.
We should, because I
yeah.
mean, we always put high hopes and to be let down. We shouldn't put high hopes in corporations at all. We should just like, okay, they making a movie. Okay, if they do good, cool. If they fuck up, well, hey, it's what they do.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
speaking of corporations, we got some info about the big Hasbro toy maker, and they're actually focusing on shifting their focus to what they call kidults, or the older collectors, realizing that children don't really buy their shit anymore, and they really don't make toys for them anymore. And their stock has actually soared as they've cut costs and revealed a new game plan. But yeah, Wall Street rewarded Hasbro. Um, when was this?
AGC. Yep.
On the 20th, yeah, 2 days ago, for cutting costs and reducing inventory in 2024. And investors also signaled that they are optimistic about the toy maker's latest game plan, which includes an emphasis on digital gaming and creating more products for the teen and adult market. Hasbro stock was up more than 12% at midday after the company's fourth quarter and full year earnings release and conference call with investors. But investors applauded, even though Hasbro's full year revenue was down 17 or 7%, excluding the impact of the one entertainment distributor, divestiture,
Investors.
divestiture. But Hasbro beat expectations for fourth quarter adjusted earnings and significantly improved its full year adjusted operating profit and adjusted operating margin.
Mm.
But yeah, it was definitely announced that their new strategic plan they're calling Playing to Win, which outlines the company's blueprint for the growth over the next 2 years. And he said, Playing to Win focuses Hasbro on what has always made us great: play and partners. Croc said on the conference call, the strategy involves 5 building blocks. He said, aging up the product mix, focus on fans ages 13 and up, expanding into new areas in girls and emerging markets, driving digital growth both in gaming and direct to customer e-commerce like Big Bad Toy Store, Hasbro Pulse, leveraging retail and licensing partnership, and focusing on profitable, play-focused toy brands that are the problem. And on the aging up strategy, he said While we have powerhouse brands for children, our over 60% of our audience is 13 or older, representing the lifetime fandom we create with consumers of all ages. So basically saying that they know that now over half of their market are kids that have now grown up into adults and still want cool shit,
Mm-hmm.
like GI Joe and Marvel. And so we get shit like GI Joe Classified, Marvel Legends, and shit like that. So Hasbro's even turning to partnerships with former toy rivals to drive sales, and today announced a new one, a Play-Doh and Barbie collaboration with Mattel. So one of their big rivals, Mattel, they're actually starting to double, join forces with in that kids and girls market, because they want to take some of the cost off themselves, because again they're focusing more towards you know
Mm-hmm.
the shit that they're selling right now, which is toys to older adults or video games and other gaming type shit. A lot of new line of toys will launch at Target in June and be sold at other retailers starting in August. Hasbro also announced a video game partnership with Saber Interactive. The 2024 year, which was a tough one for the industry overall, played out as expected for Hasbro, but the company exited it in a good position to pivot to growth this year. James Zahn, editor in chief of the Toy Book, said following the earnings release. And he said the company needed to become more nimble, streamline its product assortment, clean up the inventory channels, stop overproduction. It seems they've done this with inventory returning to pre-pandemic levels. So, yeah, pandemic. They shot up and started pumping out a bunch of bullshit, because I don't think they realized what it was that people were buying all of a sudden, and now they figured it out and they're streamlining it down, because all that people really wanted was that nostalgic collectible shit. And like Raw Talk says, they those those hardcore collectors, those longtime fans, they're not going anywhere. They're going to continue collecting regardless. But they have made a lot of new collectors. The pandemic created a lot of collectors. I'm one of them. I didn't think the pandemic created me as a collector. I was already collecting all this shit before the pandemic, but certainly I exponentially grew my collection during the pandemic
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
and got more serious about it.
and if you think about it,
Okay.
with how they're streamlining, I think the best route, because they still have a strong IP in GI Joe.
Oh yeah.
If they're going the video game
Yeah,
route,
they do.
they need to make GI Joe like Call of Duty. Once they do that, I
Woo.
think, and I'm not even gonna say I think, I know they will break records with that. Just
Mm.
that
Yeah, but who's gonna do it? You know what I mean? Like who's gonna do it though?
they.
Like I
What
think
do
they
you
want
mean?
to do
Do what?
something like I think they I think they want to expand like Marvel Rivals. Like that game right now
Well,
is like
Rivals
one of the
is
number
one of
one
the
games in the
biggest.
world. Like
Rivals has been insane.
everybody is playing yeah, everybody is playing Marvel Rivals right now. And I think that's the success they want to look at with video games. They want to
But
create
I mean,
something
but
Rivals
if
that
has
they
been
know
insane, but
everybody can play with the microtransactions, and they want to be able to exploit. They're gonna make the money off the microtransactions
see, they can do that
because
with GI Joe. They
GI
can do
Joe.
that
They
with
make
GI.
a
You
GI.
get
They
no,
need to
you
make a
can no,
Rivals for
no, no.
GI
I'm not
Joe.
saying you can't. No,
Joe,
no, I'm not
Joe.
saying you can't. I'm just saying
Imagine
that
that.
when you look
Imagine
at
a
GI
GI.
Joe,
Imagine a Rivals game for GI Joe characters.
I mean,
that would
I'm
be dope.
talking
I
about.
I would
That'd be super
fucking.
dope.
I would be in that. I would be all over that
I'm
shit,
talking
bro.
about if they
Oh
took
my
the
god, bro.
idea,
My mind is blown.
if they
My
take
bad.
the idea of fucking what you call it, Call of Duty as GI Joe. You buy the
But the
skin,
reason I say Rivals is because you see
weapons,
the character.
huh? Oh,
Call
you
of
can,
Duty, you just see the weapon. Rivals, you see your guy.
yeah, 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 yeah.
That's when I want to see my guy. Like with GI Joe, I want to see my characters and shit.
I mean, they could do
Yeah,
it
you
like
have
that,
to see a character.
like
I want to see
Grand
Storm
Theft
Shadow.
Auto type.
Yo,
That'd be crazy.
Firefly is a demolition dude. You got fucking Destro out there. You got fucking Big Boa's a tank. Hold on, I'm thinking,
Or
bro.
you
We
could,
can create a
or you
whole
could do it like
rival game
Fortnite.
right now.
You could do it like
We got the
Fortnite. You could do it
Dreadnoughts.
like Fortnite.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can do
I
it
mean,
like
Road Pig
Fortnite.
is a
GI Joe
tank.
could be done like Fortnite.
yeah, you can do it like
Yeah,
that. I mean, you can create your team. Like
Uh,
you can have people
Doc is a support
join
character.
certain rooms where you have a
yeah.
squad. Like this is my squad. We're all Joes, and I'm gonna play against your squad, which is all Cobra. Let's see what pops off. And you're using the actual weapons and everything. Yo, it'd be crazy. I mean, you'll have the people who collect get down with that. It'd be a whole you think adult collectors would be crazy. This video game shit with G.I. Joe adult collectors into it, man, it'd go crazy. It'd be
Yeah.
insane.
Well, I mean, Rivals
I
is
think
blowing up because
yeah.
the MCU, but also because of collectors and fans of Marvel and fans of comics and shit like that. And the great thing about Rivals is they have their own style. They created their own versions of the characters, but even when they do the a more traditional look for the character, it still has their very unique style to it. But their style is dope. Like they actually make all the characters look really good. And
Mhm.
that's
Yeah, they
that's
do.
that's
Like
that's not
like
you
Sue
know
Storm. Like
they
Sue
all look
Storm.
amazing. Like they all just look amazing, and it's like I don't know. It's a rare thing. It's a rare thing when they redo characters like that and they look as good as they do in Rivals. I could see them doing something like that with GI Joe. I mean, even if it's a GI Joe classified game where the characters are classified versions of the characters,
I mean,
that would
they
I,
did that. They did that with this game. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They did that with this game.
which
And
one? This is the one that classified was originally based on.
yeah, Operation Blackout.
Yeah,
They did that with this game, and this game proved the way they did it, it was half cocked.
I don't want
They
that.
do it right. They needed to do it like fucking like I said, you go through the whole world or what have you. You have other people in it. Just like, kids
like
love
but the new one they put out, the Raw Talk, the new
this.
GI Joe Rise of Cobra. That joint is hot. It's
Well,
just,
you're
I
talking
think it's
about
the
You talking about
style.
the little side scroll one?
yeah, that
Yeah, I think it's the style. A lot of people like that game. I think had they went with more of a realistic style with it than they did with the cartoony, you know what I mean, comic book type style, it would have been even more successful.
Not for
But
side scroll.
yeah, side
yeah,
scroll.
for side scroll,
I don't want to
yeah,
see a
if you
realistic
do a
side
dope, bruh, you do a dope real like Mortal Kombat didn't work in 3D because it just didn't work. But when they
scroll.
went
Side
and made
scroll
it like
don't
the
look
three,
good, but
like look at it like this: if you do 3D models like Mortal Kombat, just the
Contra.
characters are 3D, right? The characters are 3D, but the background is 2D, and you make it a beat 'em up. Man, please, people eat that up. They eat that up all day. You on the microtransactions alone, you can sell the characters for like $5 each. So if you want to play a Snake Eyes $5, you want Roblox $5, and they all do different stuff when you play with them. That the microtransactions alone is endless,
Yeah, people
and
will
then
be collecting
weapons.
online now. Like, yo, I got
Yeah.
well, yeah, you're gonna do the
Think about it.
microtransactions
Think about it,
regardless of what
Reno.
the
When
game is.
think about it, Reno. Fortnite, right? If Blaze played Fortnite, I don't know if you ever
Yeah,
played Fortnite.
Fortnite,
But
Rivals,
how many? Look at
Overwatch,
Look at his
all of that.
character. Go look at his collection in Fortnite. He got gliders. He got different skins. Just that. The microtransactions on Fortnite alone is what made it so popular. They made so much money off the microtransactions. It wasn't even funny. It'd be the same thing with GI Joe. It's
yeah.
just the
Yeah, it's the same thing
microtransactions.
with
I
all the
think
games.
it'd be a great thing, but I think there'd be a lot of divorces after that.
I mean,
Cause,
it
cause,
it's
yo,
the
you
same as with
spend that
Rivals.
whole check on GI Joe. Like, yo, I needed these characters. I needed the his tank. The his tank cost me $100. I needed that.
Gotta have it.
And people will buy it. People will buy it. They gotta
But I
have it.
mean,
Yeah.
listen, if you getting away with buying all this shit, you all right with some
Yeah,
microtransactions.
right.
She ain't gonna see no package coming to the door or nothing. You getting away with all the
Nah,
microtransactions
you
you
just get
want.
away with all of it. Yeah.
And
And you
when
just cut the TV on. You
you got 5 dudes who need trouble bubbles and shit.
good. They would be
Trouble
buying them.
bubbles cost $30 a piece.
They would buy them, bruh. They would knock them off, bruh. They would get them.
Had to hit my
Especially if
boys
it gave
up.
you an advantage. Especially if it gave you an end game advantage. Oh,
Yeah,
people would be having it'd be trouble bubbles flying everywhere, bruh.
that is. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
what I want though. I want the chaos of that because I'm like, That'd be crazy, man. Yeah, it'll be a whole world. Didn't the kids will get into it because they gonna be like, "Yo, Dad is playing more than me now. Like, what's going on over there?" Then they get into it, and it becomes a whole nother thing. I mean, strategies, man, marketing.
Hang on, I got some.
Yeah.
You know, that'd be great.
So yeah, this is why Hasbro and other toy companies are embracing kidults. And as people get older, nostalgia sets in for the toys and games they played with as kids, and they may want to pass that on if they have kids of their own. Brands try to tap into this phenomenon, not just through retail, but also movies, TV, and video games. And man, if that's not what they used to do to us when we were kids, I don't know what the fuck it is, because
Yeah, we
that's
were
the reason that the G.I. Joe cartoon existed, was to sell toys.
yeah, we were the
Transformers,
first experimented on. We were first.
Yeah.
We were the first
Thundercats,
experiment.
G-Man. Those were toy commercials,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, we were the first. They did it.
Long toy commercials. Yeah.
Yeah. Look
yeah.
no further than Hasbro, the toy giant behind Transformers, G.I. Joe, Dungeons and Dragons, and more. In a June interview with Wall Street Journal, Hasbro CEO Chris Cox said that he has that adults drive 40% of the company's revenue annually, and that he can see that number growing to 50% 5 years from now. That's 5 years from now, y'all. That's not the pandemic 5 years ago. He's talking about 5 years from now. That shit growing. So the pandemic started some shit. The big explosion in hype died down, but it made a lot of new collectors, and those guys are lifelong from now on. And it says here in December 2022 study research from Circana, which defined kidults as anyone 12 years or older, found that they accounted for $9 billion in U.S. toy sales, the biggest source of growth for the industry last year. Those 18 years or older accounted for 14% of the toy sales last year, and 19% increase from 2021. So it says there's no doubt that kidults have a powerful impact on toy sales over the past few years, and the pandemic really accelerated this growth as more adults turn to toys and games to distress and fight feelings of isolation, says Jennifer Lynch, a toy trend specialist with the Toy Association, an industry trade
Psychologist. Yep.
organization.
She's a
Yep.
psychologist. Yep. Toy
Yep.
psychologist.
Why kidults are buying toys and games?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Time out. Wait, whoa, whoa.
Whoa,
There's
whoa,
a toy
whoa.
psychologist?
Yeah,
Some toy
basically,
psychologists out there?
that's basically what
Well,
she is.
yeah.
The psych. Yeah, a lot.
That's how they decide what to build and shit, and what to make, and what kids want, and
They
what's
have
going.
focus groups and everything, and the
Yeah,
psychologist is there to examine the reactions and everything, and how
yeah,
to drive the heartstrings of people you want to sell to. Yeah,
yeah,
they have
They
yeah.
it.
ain't got to do that. All they got to do is watch us on this show, and then we can tell them. You don't need psychologists to tell you that. We can
No,
tell you what we want.
I
Like
mean,
like
Oh,
think
you can tell them
like
it.
think
They
about it.
break it down
When
for you.
Classified, yeah, come on. Like think about it. When Classified first came out, Reno can contest to this because I heard him say it. He was like, I think it was Snake Eyes. It was Snake Eyes, Scarlet. Dude, one of them. He was like, it was Roadblock. Reno was like, yeah, that Roadblock is dope. He was like, but I wish they made him look like the original one. It would be doper. And
Gung ho.
everybody kept
That was
saying
gung
that.
ho.
Gung ho. Yeah, it was gung ho. Everybody kept saying that with G.I. Joe Classifieds. So that Hasbro listened. They was like, you know what? Make them look like the old ones. And when they did, they flew off the shelves. You couldn't keep them in stores. And then
mhm.
they came with the retro card back. Same thing. Just get the people what they want. That's all we ask.
But
If
they
you don't
still,
need a psychologist to tell you that,
yeah, but
take a survey.
they still need that for the higher ups because the psychologist explains to the higher ups who know nothing about any of this shit. They're just there as money men and investors. So, in order to
Mm,
explain to the investors on how we're marketing to adults now instead
Right.
of children, we have to
mm.
show the track record from these were the first people who had these toys and they still want these toys today. So the groundwork was laid. So they need psychologists to explain it because it is psychological. Whenever you're dealing with nostalgia, that's part of psychology.
Yep.
And we kind of pass this on to some of our kids. Some of our kids look at it and they like, man, that's corny. But some of our kids be down with it. Like, and my son falls in between. He don't. he don't buy hell of figures, but he buys statues. He loves the anime statues, and that's all born out of you know me passing that on to him. First, it started with Funkos, and then he started collecting, blah blah blah. So we are bringing new collectors on. So I mean, they really do
Nah, that's
realize
true.
this. They
Yeah,
can see
yeah, that's true.
the statistics,
That's true.
and they want to foster that, and it's smart.
Yeah, that's true. Because my
It
one
says
son, he
that
likes Star Wars, and that's all he'll collect.
right.
Wait
Yeah, he'll
till they
collect
get
Star
real
Wars all
old,
day.
and we done passed on to the next level. And when they get really old, they gonna be like, "Yo, I remember playing with Dad with this." When that figure comes back out, they be like, "Yo, I gotta have it because it's something personal." It's like, "Yo, I remember when Dad took me to buy this."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it becomes personal, and that's
Mm-hmm.
what it is for us. I remember when Mom and Dad bought these. I need to get it back to have that great feeling again. So it brings you more closer to the peace of mind
Mm-hmm.
that you had when you first got it, the excitement,
Right.
and it reminds you of your family members too, like the time, you know. So it's like, yo, I mean, it works, man. It's psychological, but it works. No matter what, it works.
Yeah.
You know,
Kind of keep saying, "What up, y'all?"
a nice husky.
I see.
Yeah.
I see you got an invader. I see you got
She
an
got
invader there. You've been
yeah.
invaded.
there's a anime
Yeah,
character
we haven't
named
seen. Yeah, that
Kaneki.
dog got big.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't see it on the camera, but she got
Oh
one
yeah.
blue eye and one brown eye.
Oh, she one of them huskies.
Yeah.
I had I had a pit like that. My pit had one. My pit had one blue eye and one black eye.
Oh, really? Well, it's a it's
Yeah,
a
yeah, I
it's
had a pit bull like
it's a
that.
Right.
it's a desirable trait in huskies. It's a husky trait, and like they really like that shit in like show quality dogs. But there's an anime character named Kaneki because he's like a ghoul and he has one red eye and one blue eye or whatever,
Hmm.
and so that's what my son named her Kaneki after that character. And
That's
that's a dope ass. Tokyo Ghoul is
Tokyo Ghoul is
easily one of my favorite anime of all time.
yeah, it's a wild.
Easily top tier, top five, easily maybe top three.
Tokyo Ghoul is crazy.
It's fucking
Mm,
really good. It's
My
amazing.
one of my
yeah,
favorites is
Tokyo Ghoul is crazy.
Bakihama.
Yeah, Baku's dope.
Baki, that dude's back is bigger than it gets bigger every season.
Yeah, that's a straight fighting anime right there.
Yeah, it's straight raw. Dudes be breaking everything,
Yep,
stomping heads in. I'm like, yo,
yep. But it says
Mine's
why
is
keep
mine's is
buying toys
Ninja.
and games?
Mine's is
Ninja
Ninja
Scroll.
Kamayo. Ninja Kamayo. I watch that all day long.
Oh yeah, and
I
that's a
love that
dope
shit.
show. That shit is
That joint.
amazing.
that's crazy.
That's one of my favorite too. As far as for new
I'm
ones, yeah,
hooked.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm hooked. I'm hooked on Ninja Kamayo.
yeah.
Hooked on that joint, bro.
My Hero Academia because of the
Mm.
comic connection. Um, it's basically the X-Men in an anime form. Like the dude that makes it Hirikoshi, he he's like a comic fan. He loves Spider-Man, he loves all the comic characters, he loves X-Men and shit like that. And it totally comes across in that anime. Um that Tokyo Ghoul, Ninja Kamui,
Hmm.
what else? What else is dope we just been watching?
Don't forget Ninja Kamui.
Yeah, come on. He said that. He said that.
That one.
Yeah.
And there's
You
a
said
bunch of
anything?
Wow.
new
Wait.
there's a bunch of new ones and shit. Um, but my real love of anime was before the shows. Like what I loved was the movies back in the day, like Ninja Scroll,
Yeah.
Dagger of Kamui, Fist of the North Star.
Oh yeah.
Like those anime movies.
I like JoJo's Great Adventures.
The Maycross sagas.
Yeah, I never
Yeah,
got into the
I like
Maycross shit.
Maycross sagas. I was into
Attack
really
on
hell.
Titan is dope. Attack
Yeah,
on
man, I love that shit, man.
Yeah, I never
Maycross,
got into the mech
Robotech, all of that. I watched that
Robotech.
hard.
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah, all the anime.
That's a whole other kind of anime.
Yeah.
You got so many genres in anime. It's crazy.
Then you
It's
got the real
phenomenal.
sick ones. The one I
Yeah,
seen,
those are called.
the homie I seen this on college campus. It's called Legend of the Overfiend.
Oh yeah, Legend of the Overfiend is dope.
That joint is sick, crazy. I mean, like hentai is wild. It's like
It
a
has its
anime hentai. I'm
yeah,
like,
it's
yo, what
graphic as
the
fuck.
hell?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's some hentai going on.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, it says why kidults are buying toys and games. Hasbro's GM and SVP of global action brands Tom Warner tells the Current that the kidult economy is one of the fastest growing categories overall for the
Mhm.
company. Nostalgic adult fans are passionate and engaged in the brands that they love, especially the products they loved as a kid. Warner adds, our products allow them to celebrate their fandom. At Hasbro, we are focused on fans of all ages. We're making toys and games for our hardcore adult fans, as well as the next generations of those fans. I love to hear this that they recognize us and actually because I don't know, man. I think it reminds me of like when baggy pants became popular. When baggy pants became popular,
Mm,
you had to buy pants that were several sizes larger. Then then fashion makers started making them baggy to fit your waist.
yes,
You see?
yes,
And
yeah,
that's what
which was
I like
genius.
that it was genius. So I like that they're like, okay, this is what they're doing. They're buying our toys that we made for kids, like the original Marvel Legends and the original Toy Biz and shit like that. Like those toys, and obviously the GI Joe O rings, of course, but the remakes and stuff. But like they're buying these toys and they're making a whole community out of it. So they're actually now making toy lines. The classified toy line is not made with children in mind in
No,
any way.
no.
Mm,
Keep
But
that in mind. It's
no,
made with collectors of the original. It's made with us in mind. That's why they make those toys. Marvel Legends is starting to go that way. McFarlane's pretty much always been that way. His figures
no,
barely even
from day
articulated.
one, from day
They
one,
was
it was about adult collectors.
yeah,
yeah, from day
they
one.
won.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
so
yeah,
He
straight
already.
up. Yeah,
That's what I. One thing I can say about him. He already knows the future. In the
yeah,
sense, he already knows. He's like, yo, this is what it is.
he's ahead of his time for real.
Yes, yes. But
yeah.
we
He
can't.
just got to give us different heads like this. He just got to give us different heads like this instead of
Yeah.
making us buy the same character 5 times.
But we can't discount that these toy companies, when they see the numbers come in from the big box stores, they see what is selling, and they see that the toys wasn't selling as much. They know that the Pokemon cards sell, the those type of games sell, the video games sell. They were looking at what
Right,
goes on in Walmart, what goes on in Target. They say, "Oh, these other toys they ain't selling too much, but the real adult ones are selling. What's going on?" You know what I mean? So they had to make
Mhm.
a switch. Plus,
yeah,
they're trying to cut waste because they was even when they was doing those boxes where we had the blind boxes technically,
right,
that they wanted to cut waste, but they didn't really know how. They didn't want to draw back on kid toys as not yet because they still really didn't know if this adult stuff was just a quick phenomenon.
right.
You know what I'm saying? But now they know this is real.
Yep,
Kids, they're all on digital platforms. All right, we can dial this back now because the numbers are not reflecting what we put out there. It's not coming back right. Let's get rid of this and focus on these people because this is the sure money. These are adult workers. They make money. They spend money regardless.
right.
We focus on them.
And they make a nice point here too.
Yeah.
It says nostalgia is not the only factor. A Lego Group spokesman tells the Current that in its recent Play Well report, 88% of grown up respondents played with Lego products because it helped them relax. 89% said it helped them stay mentally sharp, and 90% said it helped them be more creative. This was based on a survey of 33,429 adults in 33 markets from February 2022 through March 2022.
Hmm.
And so basically, I don't collect this shit to play with it. Like it's a stress relief in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
It's not just about nostalgia. Like I definitely like the nostalgia bump, but at the same time, for example, this new one of these new ones I just got,
Oh,
that's Icon.
Icon.
This is not a character I grew up with as a child,
Mhm.
right?
It's
Like so it's not all about nostalgia. Um I grabbed him too, Guy Gardner with the bowl cut.
wow, wow. That's
Mm,
you really got the likeness.
well,
Yeah, I don't know.
they
Probably
did.
won't,
And they came out with Captain Cold,
probably won't
the
focus.
original
Really, they come out
gangster.
with Captain Cole. That should have been Mount when they had Flash come out.
Yeah, I know. I got the Captain
They
Cold.
never did. And that's the crazy part. They never gave us a Captain Cold like that. Looked like this anyway. That
Then I
Page
just
Punchers joint
found
was
this
just
dude,
no.
Yeah.
Illuminati Namor, because I do plan to create the Illuminati
They brought
as
that back
seen in
out.
the comics.
That
This
Namor is
is not
hard.
The
That Namor is
original.
not
hard. I don't know
this
where
is
you find that.
old.
But that's hard.
This ain't new. Nah, this is old raw talk. This is
Oh, okay.
the original.
Oh, I had
Um
it with the clean face though. I had the one.
yeah, I put the beard on him
Okay,
and
okay,
I grabbed the OG Namor.
No,
Yeah.
serious.
okay.
You put a
King.
beard on? Yeah, that's crazy.
No, I didn't like put the beard like that. It came with a beard. This I think this one came with the bearded head, and I
Yeah,
put it on this one.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, you swapped them.
Yeah,
You swapped
because
them.
I got these at a like a used like a there's this big ass shit called the Toy Museum
Okay.
in Sarasota, Florida when I was down there, and it's just a toy. It's just they sell Marvel Legends and shit like that, like figures everywhere. It's sick.
Mhm.
And they just had these like in a pile, like $10 or whatever. So I'm
Nice.
like, well, let me see what they got. Oh shit, I do need a Namor. I ain't got no Namor, so boom, I ain't go $10. Okay, I'll take it. And then I see this. This is how he
You made
looks
it
in the
come up.
Illuminati, in the Illuminati, in Hickman's Illuminati with the incursions and all that. And that's where the MCU is going. But I love the Illuminati story. I love the Hickman shit, so I grabbed him.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, that the whole point there is like these none of these are characters I grew up with as kids. None of this is about nostalgia. I mean, it's we collect this shit for other reasons too. Like Stu said, it looks cool. They it's dope that you can physically hold it and pose it and display it.
Touch it.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah, I still
what is
got
it?
my low key Marvel Legends. I got low key Marvel Legends, but I got the the 4-inch ones.
Oh yeah, I got a few of those.
And speaking of Namor,
Any more? Yeah.
and then I got this version of Luke Cage with the chain and
That's
stuff.
hard. Yeah. Yeah, that's hard. Yeah.
And then I got I
Those
got
are popular. Those are really, really popular. Those 4-inch Marvel Legends.
I love the 4-inch Marvel Legends, bro.
yep, it's crazy.
I
I
got
was
these.
like I had to keep because I like Namor. Namor is pretty dope too.
I got this War Machine, and I put this gun on his hand. I don't know where I got this gun, but I added it to his
Like
hand
a
because I'm kind of
drill gun or
fucking
something.
crazy. Yeah, and this is from the 4-inch line. One of
Ooh,
my favorite, one of my favorite Apocalypse iterations.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's from
Mm.
Messiah Complex.
Yes,
Love that story. And then you got the Wolverine attached to the motorcycle, 4-inch.
nice.
And then lastly, I got the amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, yeah. Is
But
that
those
Mm.
are hard to come
no?
by.
Is it the clone the other one, not Ben Riley, not that clone. Is another clone.
No, this is Andrew Garfield, the movie one.
Oh, okay, that's Garfield.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's they said we're excited that more and more adults are building and creating with Lego bricks, inspired and play experiences aligned with their passions like automotive, sports, entertainment, and crafts, especially our botanicals range. And we know they enjoy the mindfulness that comes with the manual tasks like building with Lego bricks. And building with Lego bricks or setting up display shelves, whatever it is you're doing with the collectible, it's the same. It's the same end. You're getting stress relief. You're getting whatever it is. um What products are exactly are kidults interested in? For Hasbro, kidults are interested in anything from highly coveted items that collectors have been clamoring for to games like Monopoly, Dungeons and Dragons, and Clue. And adults love to play with friends, Warner says. Hasbro Pulse Company's fan-centric direct-to-consumer platform better connects older fans with Hasbro brand by offering members exclusive products and more. So, like, if you go to this website, Hasbro Pulse, where they sell Hasbro toys, they're just collectible toys. They're just 7-inch figures and shit like that. Transformers. They do have other shit there, but I mean that's what they focus on. And they have their HasLab, a crowdfunding initiative, which is an extension of that goal, giving fans the ability to support a product or products of varying price points and scale that are highly coveted items fans have been clamoring for. So HasLab alone, they're making that. Obviously, HasLabs are not for fucking children,
Yeah.
right? They're $300-$400 fucking mega dream toys that they never would make for what do you call it, reproduction, mass production.
Yep.
Mm.
So people might not realize how much Hasbro realizes that most of their market base is adults, or at least a major portion, and definitely the biggest growing portion for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what this says: for those who think the pandemic was a come and gone kind of thing, the momentum shows no sign of stopping, Warner adds. Since its inception in 2019, a total of 10 projects have successfully backed with combined total of over 200,000 backers. This month, a HasLab campaign for G.I. Joe Assault Copter Dragonfly reached its goal of 10,000 backers within a day of its launch, according to Warner. So this article is from back when the Dragonfly came out, which is now on the shelf right there. And Toy Association research affirms that adults gravitate towards board games and collectible items. But yeah, I mean, it's obvious that these products are not being made for children, and now Forbes is reporting that Hasbro is making a major shift, and that stocks are moving in that direction.
Mm. That sounds about right. Because
My
as
bad, I
long as
got
they keep giving us a good
glass.
product, as long as they keep giving us a good product, we'll keep buying it.
Yep.
That's the bottom line. And
I'm
with
not.
that, fellas, I gotta roll. With that, I gotta roll out. But listen, I'm not stopping collecting. And I just picked up what four? One, two, three. I just picked up four new figures. I'm gonna put them out on my shelf Monday. But I mean, and then I just got my Spider Man, Spider Boy, and me and
Yeah,
Reno was just looking at the rest of them. We were like, man, these other ones, like when we really started looking at, it, we was like, they kind of dope.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So I just put them.
The other Spider-Man is I think is the dopest of the whole wave. The other Spider-Man in that wave is like he's got a web like a web cape. It's like and really dope detail all over the arms and shit like that. Bunch of different raised levels and shit. So it's that and Kane. Kane is another character they have never made a figure for before. I'm not really happy with the iteration that they went with. I wanted to see the more OG Kane, but it's a dope looking figure. So I'm definitely gonna fuck with it. But the next big thing in news in Marvel in Hasbro news is the Maximum Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are not happy about this. Um,
Well, I
I for
predicted the
one was kind of delighted. I don't know.
I predicted the price points were going up, and
I
when a
mean, the product went up though.
huh?
The product went up. The
Not
quality of that
necessarily.
toy is better than the normal Marvel
Uh,
Legend offering.
Ryan Tink said on somebody's podcast that the plastic is the same plastic. There's no quality difference. Maybe a little bit of
Well, yeah,
articulation, maybe a different set of articulation, but
yeah.
plastic is the same. They
No,
didn't.
different articulation. It's same plastic, but more detail on the plastic. More detail
They
and
didn't
paint.
do the raised web or the embossed web, because now they're going to use that buck for other characters, which
Mm.
companies do. But this is not like a one-off thing to command
No.
$50.
Yeah, it's not a deluxe. Well, I
Yeah,
mean, it's a deluxe figure. It's not a what do you call it? A figure that's supposed to be like just like mass produced and shit. Or like I mean, yeah, it's mass produced. What am I trying to say? It's not a mainline. It's not a mainline figure. It's a maximum, whatever that, that's their new title for it, Maximum Spider-Man. So they'll have other Maximum figures that you'll pay a little more for. They have a little bit of extra shit. They're for people who collect Marvel Legends, a new Spider-Man mold is like fucking priceless because there's a jillion Marvel Legends Spider-Mans and they're 90% the exact same body with different paint, and we're sick of it. And we've been begging them to do a new fucking Spider-Man mold for
this
decades. And they
well,
finally have
this
done
new
it.
mold will get that same treatment. You're gonna get
I
a
don't think so.
type. Yeah, I think so because
I don't think
you
so.
got to think from a corporate level. That's the whole thing. Like I was saying, we miss as collectors and as hardcore enthusiasts, we miss the corporate side of it because the corporations like, oh, they like this. We're gonna
Yo,
use
yeah.
old and we're gonna
No,
move.
they're gonna have to reuse it, but I don't think it's gonna go into the main line, or if it does, it will be in a lesser way. And I guess what they're they there's a couple of new features that come with the thing. I don't know, it's like a stand or some shit that you can put on the figure, and extra hands and different
Yeah.
hands with web shooters and shit like that. So there is some new shit that isn't typical. I mean, typical hand inclusion is a couple of extra hands that are just regular hands, just in different shapes. But these are actually having like shit attached to them, and different features and ways to display it. But point being,
Mm.
this is not a what do you call it? This is not like just a kid toy. This is clearly for collectors.
Oh yeah, yeah, hands down. I mean, Marvel Legends. Let's be truthful. It's really not kids' toys.
Right.
Any iteration, even going back to Toy Biz. In my how I seen it,
Mm.
the detailing, everything is
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
kids. It's not for kids. You know.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, no, no. And the playability, the articulation, a
Yeah.
lot of the paint apps, the facial expression.
Dioramas. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
So
So
anyway,
even then, yeah, even then it was leaning towards it. I mean, they were definitely like, "Oh, older kids are going to like this."
yeah.
Which, Toy Biz era, we weren't really older yet.
Hmm. Yeah. But it's amazing that this Spider Man sold out like crazy.
Yeah.
People would be mad about the price point. You know what I mean?
Bro,
Because
everybody complained about the price point and everybody bought that bitch.
I know it's crazy.
I'm just the only one that didn't complain about it. I bought it. I'm not complaining about the price because I feel like I'm getting more for my money now when it comes. If I'm like, this is just a regular Marvel Legends and they added like an extra set of hands, then I'm gonna be pissed off because this is twice the price. This is like buying two Marvel Legends, really. It's damn
Yeah,
near twice the price. So this motherfucker better be something special.
yeah, man.
It better be. If it's not,
Because the webbing is painted on. It's not highly detailed.
well, I mean, I don't know. I got to see it. I got to see how that's done. I got to see, everything in person. I can look at videos of it all day. I'm not gonna feel it until I see it.
Mm,
But there's some cool shit coming. From Marvel Legends. That Spider-Man wave or the Gamerverse wave is interesting.
yeah,
I'm not I'm not a big fan of the Gamerverse stuff per se. Like I don't really like MCU figures and I don't really like Gamerverse figures that much just because I just like I want the comic versions.
yeah.
But some of the Gamerverse figures and versions are so fucking dope. I gotta fuck with them. Um, there's a new Kingpin I want to get.
Mm. All
Here,
black.
Yeah, the all black with the pink tie
Mm-hmm.
and the ruby on his staff, on his what do you call it?
Kane.
Cane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he got what, three different expressions or two? Right?
Two.
Two
Two
heads.
heads. Yeah, one mean mug and one grin.
Yeah.
Which these faces are definitely better than the Spider-Man Kingpin that came out with the white suit. I like the white suit one because he's like the OG. I definitely would have had to have that one first. But this is gonna go with my collection of like gangster suited up characters. Like I got a gangster suited up Hulk. I got the gangster Tombstone, the gangster Hammerhead, the gangster or the tuxedo Wolverine. I got a whole little collection of dudes just wearing like suits, and I
Okay.
just got him in like a little gangster. So he's definitely going to that. He's definitely going on that shelf. But it's Gamerverse, um,
Mm-hmm.
regular price, nothing crazy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's $39.99, but
Yeah, because it's
it's a bigger figure.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a lot much
10
larger.
foot tall. It's 10 feet tall.
Yeah,
Or not 10 feet. What am I talking about? 10 inches.
yeah. Well, I don't think he's 10 inches. I don't know. Is he?
He was saying he was 10 inches tall. Yep.
It says 6 inch figure, but I think that just means
The
the
line.
scale. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's 10 inches because they on the live broadcast on the stream they were saying he's 10.
Oh wow.
So he's a big fig.
Wow. So he's bigger than the other king.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. Let me see.
He's more slimmer. He's slimmer than the original Kingpin. Because if you look at the two the builder figure and then the purple vest one with the ascot, then
I
you
think this one is this. I think it's the same as this one right here.
that's the one with the ascot. Yeah,
He
that's
looks the
wider.
same.
If you look at that Kingpin, he's wider than that one.
You think so?
Yeah.
What the
So
black suit one's wider?
no, the white one is wider. Look at this. The black suit is slimmer because they're trying to say he's a little bit older Kingpin, and he slimmed down a little. If you look at
Well,
the stomach area.
what it looks like. I'm because you guys can't see what I see right now. I got them like side by side. They're the same size and everything because I got that one blown up on my big screen.
Mhm.
So, but you guys can't see what I'm looking at. I want
Yeah.
to see.
I mean, I can understand.
You see that?
Yeah, but watch, you'll
But
see.
what it looks like to me is it looks like the black suit is a wider shoulder, but
Mhm.
a trimmed down waist,
Yeah,
and this dude has a more narrow shoulder, and the belly goes out,
yeah.
and so yeah, he's slimmed down, but I think they're the same height
And plus,
with
the
about
jacket is
10
flared.
inches.
His sport coat is flared on that one a little
Mhm.
bit more. On the white one, it comes
Yeah,
out a little bit more. Yeah,
yeah. Let me see. This is the 6 inch Spider-Man, and that's the 10 inch Kingpin.
yeah. So yeah.
Yeah,
So yep, he's the deluxe sizing. ten
yeah.
inch.
39.99. I think that's what I paid for that one. Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
about the right price for the
yeah,
deluxe. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Did you see the new Daredevil Born Again featurette?
Oh, I haven't had a chance, man. I was gonna look at everything and then shoot, fell asleep because out of commission, being a little sick. I was like, I
Yeah,
need some sleep.
yeah.
You
Well,
know,
let me see here.
I just know I like what they did with the Punisher. He's back. Uh,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh yeah.
What was the
And
first
I
thing?
hear they're trying to get the Defenders to come back now too.
You know what it was? Should I tell you?
Um. Oh. The whole crew from
Yeah,
yeah,
Luke
that's
Cage as
that's
well.
intention. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. That's
can't
the
wait for it.
that's the hope.
Yeah,
But yeah, they're apparently that's what they're gonna do. I mean, they want to keep that Netflix crew.
yeah, man. Because that's the
It's the same universe, so why
yeah.
not? But let's see if we can hear them talk on here real quick.
Okay.
Thing that popped in your head when you heard the show was coming back. You know what it was? Should I tell you? Yeah. Damn it, Betty's right. Yes, it's true. Yay.
Wow, D'Onofrio looks so small, man.
Really unpleasant.
Yeah, man, that's a big problem for me, man. I really like how he looked in the Echo show, and they
Yeah,
had a big wide shoulder pad thing going on where he looked more like a comic character.
yeah,
But obviously, they're going for a more realistic thing, and he's more of just like a regular Kingpin guy. He's not the Kingpin character from the comics. He's just
yeah.
a guy, Wilson Fisk, who looks like a normal human being. Um, and so, yeah, for someone that's supposed to be a guy that's in control of his faculties and has willpower and self-determination and discipline, I mean, he shouldn't be like morbidly obese,
Yeah.
so it's good to have him as a fit, trim guy
Mm-hmm.
doing what he doing what he should do.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing you again, I could say the same about you. We got an early script, and they had come up with the idea of like, we want to bring you guys together early on, and then again later, much later. Yeah, so we have this idea. We sat down with Dario and the directors, Aaron and
So they want to have Kingpin and Daredevil meet in the beginning of the series, uh and then again towards the end. The idea being so that he's not just at the end they finally meet, and you don't really have the stakes because you don't really know what that is anyway, so it doesn't mean as much. But if you have them meet once in the beginning, and that's a big impact, then you're waiting, and the stakes of that second and final meeting is so much more impactful.
Mm-hmm.
And they're that's what they're doing. So that's why they're doing that. Instead of just having him either all throughout the show, them constantly meeting, if they're constantly conversating and interacting all throughout the show, then there's no stakes. There's no big who cares when they meet in the end? That they've been meeting this whole time. So
Yeah.
so it's a very, very smart way that they're doing it.
Mm-hmm. Because Kingpin has his minions too. He has his underbosses, so he's sending them after
Right.
Daredevil and Froggy.
Bullseye.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's supposed to be controlling things in the background. He's a mega level boss, so you send the other guys out there.
Yep. And Froggy Nelson, Foggy, I mean,
Froggy knows.
he's gonna have some powers in this one. He's gonna be
Ooh.
he apparently is gonna have some be possessed by some devil. I think.
Ooh.
Some shit like that.
What is?
So yeah, but I got some info about that. But yeah, let's see what they say.
Justin, and they had an early draft of that scene, and we workshopped it for hours. Yeah. One of the things that we came up with was we think there should be a moment of levity at the top of the scene where we seem like friends, where there's laughter, there's humor, there's something, and then it can get nasty. It's a cool moment. If you step out of line, I will be there. So
I like that. You
Yeah,
step line, I'll be there.
yeah. It reminds me of like Heat. I think that's what they're going for.
Yes, yes, yes.
That yeah, De Niro and Pacino moment.
Yeah,
If I see you coming around the corner, I'm gonna put you down.
yeah, yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
Years of being away from these characters, was there a challenge in coming back to it? I don't think so. I thoroughly enjoy playing Foggy. There's a lot of aspects to him that I sort of strive for myself in my life. Sort of felt natural to fall back into it. there's always that danger. I think sometimes when you take time away from a character, that you come back and you're start like doing an impression of yourself as you used to. 5 years allowed me to go, oh well, she's grown and changed, right? This is a new version of this character, so she doesn't actually have to be exactly like or similar.
Yeah, that's a good point. This show takes place 5 years after the Netflix series, so it's not like it's the same universe, it's the same everything, but it's 5 years later, so shit is different. A lot of shit didn't happen, people done changed, people done grown up, people done died, and all kinds of things that went down. So it's good that they're aware of that, you know, the actors, and yeah, so that's gonna come across. I think this show's gonna be the best Marvel show that we've had, like period.
Mm-hmm.
Not that there's a lot of competition for that spot. They just have to make a really good one.
Yeah.
But I think this is gonna be it. I think it's gonna be really good. It's gonna be as good as the Netflix ones, but I think in a lot of ways it's gonna be better production wise,
Mm.
acting and writing wise. And that's just a hope of mine, and that's based on somewhat of things I've seen.
But
So
they're using the same people that produced the Netflix one, so
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, it's definitely going to be. You can tell by the different pictures that it's in that same cinematic, that visual form. Like it's
yeah,
still it's dark. They're
yeah.
using
Oh yeah.
light and shadows a certain
Hmm.
way when they do filming of
Hmm.
it.
Hmm.
So I mean, it's going to work out.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, yeah. It's it's the same crew
Yeah.
with better technology, more money, a
Yeah.
bigger budget. Because when that show came out, well, at least especially when they made that show, the MCU wasn't as crazy, and they weren't making all these side shits yet. So it was now it's you know
Mm.
it's different than it was. It's more legendary now.
Yeah.
The thing about playing Foggy is just like the connection with the fans and how much they love it and how excited they get, and like, you know what I mean, like that really is kind of special. Yeah, didn't that something happen to you, like someone came up to you and they were like really mad? Oh yes, yeah. What was that again? It was like people would stop me on the street and they were like, why are you mad? I'm mad for being a superhero. You should think that's awesome. It's cool, thanks for the notes, you know. Why do these people absolutely hate you? I can bring back events from my.
So he's gonna be like a Trump type character.
Yeah.
That's so that's what they always do in these movies and shows now. That's what they did in Captain America. I mean, it's just Trump.
Yeah.
They're just trying. I mean, really, they just want to reflect the current political climate and make these statements about the current political climate, and
Mhm.
it's stupid because, like, personally, I don't go to Marvel for my politics. I don't go to Marvel or Star Wars for my
Mhm.
serious shit. I go there to escape reality.
Well, they always plant seeds. Like
Yeah.
they do that with every cinematic offering in any genre. They plant these
Mhm.
little seeds so it can grow. So when you see something in actual reality, you can your mind automatically relates back to that. I seen this in the movie that happened. Oh snap! And then you start investigating more now. Get
Mhm.
more active and stuff. Like
Yeah.
it's mind boggling, man. But that's what they do. They play with your mind and stuff
Yeah.
that way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hollywood always has been that way.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
look, I mean, Hollywood is an arm of the government, really.
Well, but
Propaganda.
it's a liberal wing. It's definitely a liberal
Yeah,
side.
it's a propaganda. It's
Yeah.
the propaganda side of it. I mean, if they want to introduce new technologies, how do they do it? They do it through the movies and television shows. And then next thing you know, 5 or 4 years later, you have that technology in your hand. Like, y'all just seen this in the movie 5 years ago. Now we got it.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Anything you see in a movie, they didn't did it already.
Yeah. You know?
They might not have told us about it, but they did it already.
Look at iRobot. That's already been made.
Yeah.
Those robots are all in China now.
Yeah.
Walking around in Japan. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
That shit is motherfuckers did not pay attention to Terminator
Nah.
or the Matrix.
Fulfilling prophecies, huh?
They were absent on that day of class, I guess. Or they just don't give a fuck or they don't believe. I don't know what it is. The shit is inevitable. Even the world's leading scientists, they say that shit is inevitable, that AI is dangerous, that it can fucking take over and do some wild shit. I mean, of course it can. Of course it can. Its whole purpose is to be smarter than humans.
Mhm. But the thing with AI is the more you feed it, the powerful it gets. But if you do not
But then it starts to exponentially build on its own and comes out of your control and starts
yeah,
surpassing anything you can tell it.
yeah,
That's the dangerous part.
hey, look, in human history, who on this planet wastes the most, more parasitic? It's the human.
Oh
It's the,
yeah.
so the AI may think like, yo,
Oh, we're like a virus.
yeah, we're a virus. We need to get rid of them because the rest of the world is suffering because of these humans. These are the wasteful parasites. We need to get rid of them, and that's what will happen. It's crazy.
He said shifting
Like
focus. Focus
research.
been on us.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I mean, focus was obviously on children in the beginning, and that was the whole point. But they're definitely shifting more towards the adult markets now.
yeah, but yeah. We're gonna be like
Because
Kyle.
kids don't play with toys anymore. They don't. They play with phones and video games and technology, and that's it. Like you don't see kids like buying action figures and playing with toys.
No. Oh, I just want to note that last year, Skynet went online. There's an
Right.
actual company called Skynet that went
Right.
online.
Facts.
So yeah, the countdown is there.
Yep.
Yep. And then people are talking about, yeah, time travel is real. So now it's getting crazy. There's a government facility that houses time travel equipment.
Yeah.
God. But the same thing, like they explain in the movies, if you change one thing in the past, it has a crazy effect on the future. So you can kill the future by going in the past, so they don't go in the past to tamper with shit too
Did you
much.
see? Yeah.
Like
Did you
Time
see
Cop.
Butterfly Effect?
Yep.
That was a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit. Time Cop was my shit.
Yeah. Time Cop was cool.
That was my shit. So it's like, yo. That's why we got the Mandela effect, because somebody switched something a little bit and now it's all fucked up. I mean, I
Yeah.
had a moment yesterday at my job, man. I'm like, yo, I'm sitting there, I'm looking for the Daryl Dawkins pony sneakers that I bought that was gray and blue, that had chocolate thunder. I can't find them nowhere on the internet, nowhere. Only the red, white, and blue ones. I'm like, I know I bought these motherfuckers. Where are
Mm,
they? There's no picture anywhere. Nowhere. It's like
mm,
it doesn't exist. I'm like,
damn.
oh fuck, man. I know I ain't crazy. I had these shits.
Yeah, man. Mandela Effect.
Yeah.
Never know. But this is what I was talking about. Foggy. I don't know what's going on here. Oh, Daredevil is reinventing Foggy Nelson ahead of his MCU return. with some new powers. So this is not going to be for the MCU. It says Daredevil's about to make his epic MCU comeback with upcoming blah 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 blah. In a preview for Daredevil number 18, the new Daredevil comic by Saladin Ahmed and Aaron Cooter, Matt Murdock is back in court for the first time in some time, and he is slowly returning to his old life after dying and being resurrected as a priest.
Yeah.
Yep. And joining him in court, albeit on the other side of the bench, is none other than his old legal partner, Foggy Nelson, except there's something different about Foggy. It says one of Foggy Nelson's eyes is glowing yellow and his skin has taken on a sickly golden hue. While his striking redesign may take readers by surprise when they first see it in the pages of the preview, it doesn't take long for it to reveal exactly why Foggy looks like this. He's been possessed by a devil named Pride. Let's see. Here he is. There's Wolverine in there. There's Daredevil in the yellow suit with the demon. Man, this looks like a good run of Daredevil. Outside the courtroom in the current Daredevil continuity, Matt Murdock has committed himself to more than just stopping criminals as Daredevil, but actually doing some good in the city. Murdock, in that effort, that opened up the youth home for orphan children. Unfortunately, the youth home is under attack by devils that clung to Matt's soul after he died and came back to life. The 7 deadly sins. Man. Daredevil sacrifices life, blah 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 blah. Daredevil's fight with Foggy Nelson would be done not on the streets, but in the courtroom. Normally handling supervillains. So Foggy's gonna be like a pride possessed Foggy Nelson, promising to be something different. Foggy Pride is threatening to shut Matt's youth home down with the hammer of the law. So Matt has to beat him in court and keep his youth home open. Plus, if Matt does win, Pride promises to tell Daredevil where Wrath is, meaning the last 2 of the 7 deadly sins will finally be handled. So he's out there fighting these 7 deadly sin demon character villain dudes. Okay. Yeah, so there's Foggy, and it's not going to go into the MCU.
Okay. Makes
that
interesting to read.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, man. I can't wait to do our next show about the psychology of collecting. We'll definitely dive more into the revenue potential of the kidult market in the toy and collectible industries and whatnot. But I am hungry, y'all. I gotta go make something to eat, and we're gonna call it a night. But we'll be back every Wednesday and Saturday around 6 or 7 p.m. Just keep it locked, subscribe, leave a comment, and we'll see you guys then. Have a good week, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.